So students get it into their heads that they cannot write or underline or circle on the question papers when it comes to reading, or not just reading, but all of the sections. And I'm here to tell you that for reading, I would absolutely recommend you to underline keywords. It's really important when you're, for example, maybe when you're scanning and skimming, using those techniques in reading part A, or you're looking for detail, reading for gist in the other sections B and C. I would absolutely recommend you to use this. You've got a full hour for this examination, 15 minutes for part A, then your papers are taken in, and then you're given B and C. So you've got 45 minutes for B and C. And if you look at the information, particularly when it comes to B and C, you might want to underline those keywords because perhaps they might be information that you need to come back to later on. Maybe it's not for that particular question that you were searching for that information, but you realize later on that might be important. Or perhaps you might want to underline some of the multiple choice questions that you're provided, and they're quite similar, just maybe a couple of words here and there are a little bit different. You might want to underline them. And just that psychology of underlining something. Okay, of course, that doesn't mean you underline every single word, because that would render it pointless to do that, meaningless. So, but when you're underlining, the psychology of it is that, I don't know, there's something weird that goes on in your brain when you do that, and it almost helps you to understand it better. So when my teachers and we've been going through a lot of these mock exam and sample papers, it almost helps you to come to the answer a little bit more clearly, with a bit more clarity. And you'll find that as you're preparing for the reading examination, that this really helps. So I would absolutely advise you to do that. You don't get marks taken away. I just want to clear that one up as well. So please use this one, because especially for B and C, it can be difficult to identify what the answer is. And this strategy helps you to internalize the information much better as well. So if you want to underline the particular keywords in the questions, and you want to underline in the separate text sheet that you get, remember you get a question paper to fill in your answer, and then you get your text booklet as well. Absolutely, you don't get marks taken away for underlining keywords, and this is a great method, great strategy to use that is at your disposal. And particularly for part A, you could be going back and forth between the question paper and the answer booklet. So it's imperative, in my view, that you're using this strategy of keywords. But then what's really important to understand is the amount of time that you're spending on underlining, because particularly for part A, you've only got 15 minutes. So you can't go and just literally just read the whole thing, the text A, text B, text C, text D, etc. And you're really methodically underlining. You just don't have enough time. You might have, 40 to 50 seconds per question, maybe up to a minute per question. You've got, for the 20 question types, 20 questions that you're provided for part A, for example. So if you've got 15 minutes, you're probably looking at 40 to 50 seconds. So you realize very quickly that you can't go into this with too much detail. But then with B and C, you've got, you really need to slow your pace down, which I've mentioned in previous videos. You've got more chance to look at it in finer detail. You're reading for gist, reading for detail. So it's really important to use this strategy to your advantage. Hopefully this video was helpful to you today. If you've got any questions about today's video, I would love to help you. Just pop them in the message box below and I'll do my best to answer. If you're looking for updated OET 2.0 videos and materials and exercises, then we've got them for you. Go to our website, swooshenglish.com. We would love to help you pass OET 2.0, whether you've got your exam coming up or you've got it in future months. Again, we would love to help.